you want to change. You want to get the narrative changed very quickly to take the heat off of you. And that's witchcraft. That's
and what do they do?
That's how you know he's the serpent.
Yeah.
The serpent, he's more subtle than any beast of the field. So he's crafty with mind games.
And they, like when a woman gets caught cheating, she turns into the victim.
Oh, you
She starts crying and shit.
You don't spend enough time with me.
She's the big bitch. You was doing wickedly.
Right. Yeah.
That's the sentiment of these people. That's how they roll, man.
Yeah, hey, that like the scripture saying in Proverbs, she eat it from wipe it from mouth.
Yeah, it said I've done no wickedness.
But Esau has the same attitude.
Same.
We ain't do nothing to nobody, but we're the most attacked. We're the most, Right. They can throw the anti-sin card any which way.
And they get this. But they hate when Jake throw the black card out there.
Yeah.
Come on.
They hate that shit. But they use it more than anybody in the earth.
Yep.
And they feel like they're rightfully owners to everything.
Yeah.
Bro, they literally are angry that he compared the Holocaust to Planned Parenthood.
The Holocaust,
like how dare you say something like that?
Hey, the Holocaust lasted what? How many years? 6 years, 5 years, whatever. Hey, the Planned Parenthood is still going.
It's over 100 million from 1970 to now. Over 100 million, Israelite babies have been aborted.
Right.
Cold thing about it, that's one small aspect of killing our people.
Yeah.
That's not the food. That's not the the pharmaceuticals. That's not even on cigarettes. The advertising. Gun violence, gang violence.
I wish we might need to invest. We might need to get a copy of it. But that book, Without Sanctuary.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it? It shows you the images of Jake that was lynched and burned.
Yeah.
Now, real quick.
We didn't even get back to that part.
Real quick. Somebody look up Holocaust in the etymology. Real quick.
I got that book. I'm gonna bring it to camp. It's heavy, but I'm gonna bring it. But it shows. It literally shows Jake with the genitals cut off, hanging from trees, from light poles. We're talking about light poles big as this, and hung there for days.
Yeah.
And this is after slavery.
Motherfuckers taking pictures.
Yeah.
Big group of Edomites taking pictures and
put the shit on the postcard. On one of them it said, "Look at the barbecue that we had today."
That's where barbecue come from. Picnics and barbecue.
Yeah.
It's from basically lynching and burning a nigga.
Right.
And while the Edomite families, they gathered around and they had, they little picnic baskets where they had sandwiches, chicken, they had a feast to murdering Jake, man.
What's the Levi's, right? The original Levi's.
Yeah.
That's what it's talking about. The two horses with Jake in the middle.
Yeah.
And
We
pull
have
them apart.
run opposite ways to pull Jake apart.
I forgot what it's called, but
this man ain't the devil.
Back in the jeans.
Yeah.
But this man ain't the devil, and he puts all this imagery, all this things, a lot of this shit right in your face, and you niggas don't even know the true meaning.
But when we're us expressing what happened to us,
right,
and comparing to what they're saying, this is considered hateful.
Yeah.
Right.
This is anti.
Because now they created the point where they can change the narrative. Where if you point the finger at somebody and label them, they can label you. We point the finger at them and label them. Hey, you're a killer. Look what you did to our people. You're a murderer. Look what you did to our people. It's in the history. No, that wasn't us.
Right.
That was my great granddad.
Let's say not all so-called Jays are bad. Well, all of them have benefited from the rape, robbery, and murder and slavery of these people.
That's right.
Yep.
Y'all benefit from so-called white privilege.
Hold on, real quick. Because the so-called average Edomites, not all of them were slave owners.
Right.
A lot of Amalekites, a lot of small hats, a lot of them actually owned slaves. Right. And their forefathers funded the actual slave trade.
Right.
A lot of people, they browse over that part. Yeah, we focus on the regular, the European Edomite that came over, but what about the small hats who were directly involved with it?
The whole operation.
And then we can't forget about Christopher Colon.
Yeah.
He was one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on now, but he gets celebrated every year.
Yeah.
They don't like to bring out that history.
No.
You know,
They would have a hissy fit because they were trying to take down some of the statues.
and you got to understand the financial part of the slave trade.
Stock market.
Yeah, the stock
The
market.
stock market's based off of slavery, man.
Even-
Selling slaves. Even you got a birth certificate today. I did this before. Your social security number, you look that shit up, and you'll see your name, and you'll see your name attached to like one of them companies, man. Like a Fortune 500 company.
Corporation owns
And
it.
there's a price on it too. Yeah, the corporations basically own it.
Right.
That's why every time you get your name on something in the mail, it's always capitalized.
All caps.
All caps.
And who at the top of that? The so-called J's.
Yeah.
Capitis, Dominicio, something like that. Basically saying that you're a slave. When it's written like that, you're a slave to whoever's sending it to you.
Yeah.
You
Real
got
quick.
it.
Daniel 9 verse, I'll start at 11, but the point is in 12. It says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him, and have confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
Right.
Nobody wants to live like
Nobody. And we just talking about Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. We're not even getting into the northern kingdom, what this devil has done to them. What about the Native Americans? You killed over 100 million of them or more. All right. What about the
different Holocaust?
right?
Right.
What about the northern kingdom tribes? How you went over and colonized them and pushed Christianity and enslaved them and took them back to the what you call old world, to Europe, to be slaves over there. This is history. This is part of this man's history that no one wants to go into, but the prophets. These things can be, these records can be looked up. Okay?
On the internet.
On the internet.
Easy.
In these devil's libraries all throughout the world.
Hey, but they'll take the Holocaust, and that's like the most wicked thing that's ever happened to humans on
I
Earth.
mean, that's how they humiliated Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They had a fucking rabbi come on on his platform and pretty much sunned him,
Right.
humiliated him, and talked about the damn Holocaust to shame him.
And he couldn't say he was basically just a student listening to this so-called Jay go on about the Holocaust and how bad they got. He couldn't even ask no questions.
And here's the worst. So like,
You got it.
Now I just want to make a point about that. He would not. Nick Cannon should have went and did his homework,
Right.
studied up about what actually went on, not what's in the history.
The nigga
book.
probably
He
knew.
was already compromised. He already knew.
He already knew.
But up to that point, meeting with that rabbi, he was already compromised.
He was
They already
The fact
had
that he
they already
came
had
on
to
the
talk
show.
with him and said this is what's gonna go down, or what's that shit on MTV? All that shit is
Gonna
done.
lose Wildin'
You
Out, all that shit.
all wilding out. Anything you got, we gonna bankrupt your
Mariah
ass.
gonna come back and
Yeah. You know,
get you
hey, the
again.
true prophets, the true men of the Lord can't be bought. We can't be bought with your money, your entertainment, your opportunities in this world.
They got
Fuck
no-
this place,
got no
man.
501c3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
The only you devils can do is what? Strike our videos.
Right.
But we still on the street speaking it.
still
And
face to face.
and when you come down on us, we know we you know we're spiritually ready. It ain't a physical fight. When you come down on us, they know what's to come after that.
And we provoking this fight by talking all this shit,
Right.
so to speak, because it's a win-win for us, man.
Right.
As long as we stay diligent with your how about you outside, man, it's a win-win. You brother still have some more? I got a couple.
Yeah, get that.
It's the etymology of the word Holocaust. It says sacrifice by fire, a burnt offering, burned whole.
What?
Sacrifice by fire, a burnt offering, or a thing wholly burnt.
Thing holy burnt. That's why I mentioned that book, Without Sanctuary. You know how many jakes got burnt up? You know how many churches, hung and burnt? You know how many jakes got burned down in churches?
Right.
Down in the South? To this day?
Right.
Come on, man. And then the children dying in the womb at Planned Parenthood, these abortions, those are like modern day sacrifices. You know? It's an offering.
Yeah.
All right? Those are modern day temples of Baal right there. You gonna tell me that's not a Holocaust?
Right.
Millions of them.
Ongoing Holocaust.
Yeah, still to this day. And your industry, the people who set that up, they benefit from it.
Yeah.
And you can go
Sanger,
Yep.
Yeah.
all these devils, man.
And they don't. You got to realize it's a more wicked devil behind Martin Sanger
Yeah.
that funded that.
Yeah,
And
of
she's,
course.
in that top family.
Yeah,
She's those
because
top family.
you got to understand these devils. They got all the resources to do this.
Yeah.
It ain't like they just, they just came up with this idea and they, fundraising. No, these devils, the higher ups, they fund all of this wickedness.
Yeah.
You know?
Now this is how deep it goes. We talked about the hip hop situation where they did. We want this in the music, to put the minds of the people to build up the prison industrial complex. You think they didn't do that with Planned Parenthood? Putting all these psychedelic drugs out there that make you feel good when you have sex and all this other stuff, and putting it in the music and the vibration out there. Okay, they built the whole industry that they made money off of to further another industry that they were going to make money off of.
Yeah. Right.
They even take the fetuses and put it in the food, man.
Yeah. And eat it.
Yeah. Whether it's drinks, food, whatever, they use that, man.
Yeah.
Okay? They use it for their sacrifice to get into that left-hand energy, abduction and killing rituals, all this shit, man.
Right.
It's just dark. All right? And like, that's why you go out in the world and they're talking about these QAnon people, they talk about the Kabbalah, and they just start talking about, all these different entities out there. Well, the truth is the only place you're going to see it all put into perspective in its proper order to show you how it's really laid out. Now, we don't know the deeper ins and outs, but we can put it in order for you so it now makes sense in a spiritual sense.
We can
and the truth with it.
We can identify who's behind this.
Exactly.
It ain't none of these people on this side.
Right.
It's some of these other nations, but who's the spearhead of that? Who's the head of the snake? This devil Esau. We don't got the resources to do none of this shit that this devil is doing.
Hey, when you read in Psalms 83 about the enemies who helped to cut us off from being a nation,
83.
notice how
That's what I was
Esau, Edomites are mentioned, but Amalek is mentioned separate from the Edomites, but Amalek is a descendant of Esau. Why did that list Amalek and the Edomites?
Psalm 83, I'll start at the top. It says, "Keep not thou silent, O power Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent."
And you know who will fight the hardest to keep us from knowing who we are? The very same people who took what we were.
And that are benefiting from that.
I keep bringing up this identity thief deal. If you steal somebody's identity, the main thing you got to make sure is that guy don't come back for his identity.
Right. It's like Face Off.
If that's exactly right.
With John Travolta and
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, man.
When he came back for his identity, that's when the problem started. He had to go back and be his identity to even get close to him to do it.
Right.
A good movie, but at the same time, this is no different. The Man in the Iron Mask is a great story that picks that up. Okay, they were twins, but one killed. Look, twins that one killed the. Well, he prisonered the other one, and then they finally broke him out, and they went to go get the crown. That's why he was like, "I better kill this guy. He's gonna take everything from me."
Hey, man, it's kind of
It's
essentially
historic.
what Esau's going to do.
Yeah.
When he comes in like a flood, when this devil finally rolls on, he's going to try to kill the prophets, because I always say this: the prophets are what stands in between Esau and their new world order.
Yep.
In
the earthly sense, right?
In the earthly sense,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So he's gonna have to come in to try to, save his, like you said, save his identity.
Yep.
So he doesn't get exposed completely. We at a level now, but once this devil gets completely exposed, that's when he's gonna have to say, man, fuck it. What do I got to lose?
And
I gotta go in.
And Kanye, right? Because Kanye, let me just say that in the car, didn't we? About coming in with that flood, because Kanye didn't put the conversation out there, and now this